Hello everyone, and welcome. This is Romerit, and I am giving you a personalized trailer tour of a game that I've been playing for a little while. It's called Perfect World International. And Perfect World International is a MMORPG, has a lot of online players from all over the world who really create a very strong community and keep you active in the game and help you out whenever you need help or anything like that. So for the couple of months that I've been playing it, I've gotten a basic understanding of how the game mechanics work, how the quests go by play, and the rate of XP, the different type of items and accessories that you can get as well. So don't be overwhelmed by the majority, all of the different gadgets and gizmos that you see around here. Basic explanation is we have our character icon with health and mana cost, and in this case there's also an XP bar. And then we also have what's called a genie. You can think of a genie somewhat like a pet, and a genie learns side abilities. I can reorganize the screen a bit. Genie learns side abilities. This one's kind of like a snare taunt, and I also have another genie here who does more buffering abilities. The inventory, as you can see here, certain types of armors, weapons, different levels of enchantment, so what you would normally expect in a MMO. It also has this fashion, as you can see. I am wearing, almost looks like a leprechaun sort of thing. It was one of a special wedding event, and I guess they decided to go with leprechaun colors. But if I were to go back, switch over to my normal look, I have my normal armor on. So in this game they have a lot of unique features. Some of the quests are actually more related to the Eastern culture. A lot of Chinese and Japanese and Korean culture in this game. And you actually have a number of class types. The one that you're looking at right here is called a Blade Master, and Blade Masters can work with a number of different weapons. Majority of the basic weapons, and basically anything physical related, so not magic unfortunately, but we have a number of other classes as well that you can look at and that I've been working on. This just happens to be my main. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly you over in a bit to a basic battle sequence now. The battle sequence, at first, when you don't have too many abilities, seems more like a click and attack sort of thing. But when you add in abilities and when you work on being able to work with combos, then it becomes a lot more actionally, a lot more in depth, and it keeps you going in the game, keeps you paying attention to your health and your stats. So the closest enemy I can find are actually a bit low level compared to me. That's okay. I can still show you how it works. So you dismount from your flyer, and I aggroed it because certain ones actually aggro you. And you can see from the top that it has a certain amount of health, and level, its hit percentage, and evasion, and sometimes they have an element, so that's something good to keep in mind. Put my tracer up here. Tells you like the elemental triangle, but in this case there are quite a few more. So if I were to follow up and try to take this guy down quickly, I can just do a combo, range attack, bleed damage, and he's down. Whereas I have a lot of other ones as well, and if I were to start building up chi, which is another bar used for specific attacks, then I could do some of my more powerful attacks. And let me find a group so I can just build up some chi real quick and show you what I'm talking about. Now, I know that at least in this scene it looks like there's a lot of repetition of creatures, and at the beginning of the game that does seem to be the case, because the creatures themselves are very simple and easy to take on, as you would be in a level 1 character. But as you get further and further in, you'll learn of different dungeons, different instances, things like that that'll keep the game more interesting, so that it never really gets boring even at the higher levels. I believe the level cap right now is 105. Now as I get close to 2 full sparks, which is a full bar of chi, I'll be able to show you some of my more AoE attacks. And a Blade Master, how the way that I build my Blade Master is to be a bit of a tank, as well as be the crowd control type of person, be able to do the AoE stuff. I have a stun that I can use. My weapon actually auto stuns, I think it has like a 25% chance to auto stun. And I can also move, I have like speed buffs and other things that can keep me going. So here, I'm going to use my Heaven's Flame attack. Very nice animation. And I actually have the graphics turned down a bit, so you can imagine how good it would be at a higher level. It is, there are a number of other skills that I can use, AoE skills for good combinations. When I was in a guild, they have guilds and clans. When I was in a guild, I would be part of a squad, and I would hit really strong combos to try to take down people very quickly. Now let me pull up the map as I get a little further up. So the map, and this is the majority of the world of Perfect World, and you can see the different cities. Now, Arksar, which is where we are now, is the city of heroes, as they say, and that's where you generally go to when you are level 20, 25, and then the main quests lead into that, where the other cities, like Etherblade is for human race, City of the Lost is a different race, as well as Plume, which is the Elvish, the Untamed is what they call it, like cat people, and then the Tellus are these new types as well. I forgot the name of them, as well as City of the Raging Tides, which are like mer people. Yes. And the Thousand Stream is the near end game. So if you want to imagine it according to the map, the immediate area around each city are the level 1 to level 20 dungeons and creatures and such, and then you move to Arksar, and you work around this entire area until you get to higher levels, and then the corners of the map are where the hardest quests, dungeons, which are what these are here. I can zoom into one, City of Abomination. They have a lot of very unique names. So allow me to teleport into one of these places. Let me dismount and use some of my speed up skills, such as Cloud Spirit. I'm going to work my way over to the statue here. There's a teleporter. Costs coins, so a lot of people prefer flying, but coin isn't too hard to get. And so you can see all these waypoints. You have to find the other waypoint in order to teleport to any of them. So if I were to go here to the Illusion Stone, it'll actually take me to specific dungeons that I'd be interested in going in, where if you see a very greened out, that means it's a lower level. Green dots means something that's either lower or something that's up to your level, and then these orange ones are challenging, and I am probably not at the rate to solo any of those in a position to do that. So let us go to one that I know pretty well. And I'll give you an idea of what some of these dungeons are. And the higher level they are, the more intricate they become. And the loading screen is going to teleport me into the instance. Granted, I'm here by myself. So what I'm going to do is buff up a bit. There we go. My specific buff for my class gives me a lot of defense. And you can notice these guys may look similar, but they actually do a lot more damage, and I do not like their poison one bit. So I'm gonna move closer to this guy so that he gets hit by my AoE. Like that. And I'll also stun them momentarily. There we go. And see, you know, I'm doing alright, didn't lose too much health in that exchange. I also have a healing buff. Or a healing attack, whatever you want to call it, slot. You can click or you can use the WASD, my apologies. And then at the end of each dungeon, which might take me a little while to get to, so I'll cut for that, they're actually bosses, and bosses have rare drops. If I can give you an example of something I may have gotten from a boss. That was something that I made. Alright, so this here was one, you can tell by the number of stars how rare it is, 3 being one of the best, and how if they're filled in, that's also a different thing. This here was dropped by a boss in the Wrath area, which is a higher area than where we are now, and it was a rare drop. There's also a database that you can look online for all of these drop rates and health and information about bosses, creatures, and quests, which I would highly recommend doing, especially if you get lost at any point in time. So, I hope you enjoy this tour. I'm going to head back out, and I'll see you next time.